these circumstances, again, I realized I was being too cruel and having it always be rolls. It is okay to say, all right, I am getting some training. Skava, you have been saying forever and ever that you want your strength to go up. Strength can go up through training.
Well, then I may start training with the sword, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
yes, and the sword, too. Excellent. Okay.
That would make sense. And otherwise, actually, the way treated me and her pretty obvious thoughts about me being some kind of barbarian would want me to get around and try again to learn to read and write.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking of that too. So I think that the first thing to do for read and write, you may bring it to 3 times your intelligence. And take it to the nearest 5.
Yeah, that makes 35.
Yeah, and so for
nice.
For strength, go up by 1, and for your
10.
sword, you can go up by 10.
Nice.
For a Kindu, take your systems. Sorry, not system. For materials, and take it up to by 10. This is because you're spending time with the bronzesmith and working with him and things like that.
Okay, that's in
studying the materials that you have and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also for since the open way cult is sort of spiritually gathering in this spot, your occult lore for the open way can go up by 10.
Is it just cult lore, or is it cult lore for the open?
Do you have just cult lore, or do you have 2 cult lore?
I have local knowledge and cult lore.
Oh, I wonder what I was thinking. It seems to me like they should be different skills, but you know what? Forget it. Let's just call it all religion, and
okay,
and go take it up by 10.
Okay, then it's 65.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so now we can turn to Urko. And Urko, what sorts of things do you think you would be improving in over the course of time in this situation?
You will have to stop me here because I have a few suggestions. Literacy, chaos lore, local knowledge, cult lore, and the northern language.
Oh, right. Well, you already got a boost in cult lore, I think, fairly recently. So let's bring up the language for sure.
By 5?
Yeah. No, 10. This is 10. Training. Training can take you from 5 to 25% at a time. We have the next thing for Urko. Let's see. You said cult lore, literacy, the northern language, and then
literacy, chaos lore,
right.
Local
chaos
knowledge,
lore goes up by 10 for sure. Chaos lore definitely goes up by 10. So those both will get a significant boost. And so Zort, how about you?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yep. Why not learn a proper new weapon, which might be, now that I had time, javelins. Good right. Proper throwing.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a great plan. Start off at your dexterity times 3.
All right. 30 times 3. 36 is 35.
Yeah. So what was your dexterity again? 12?
Well.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So perfect. All of those sound like a good round of character improvement for long-term activity here.
Wondering about the cult lore improvement. We never specified what that was.
10%.
10%. All right.
You had a question for me, Ron?
Yes, it had to do with your bargain skill. Do you have one?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. No, I keep asking that, and I keep forgetting that. I think that the best thing to do for you, especially because you played a kind of a significant role in dealing with the village in the last session, in a lot of ways, actually, you were kind of the contact at the people level, that your charisma would definitely go up by 1.
Oh, 14. Nice.
Yeah. Skava remembers back down at 14.
I
Oh,
remember
that.
most of all how he helped me.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And I was thinking of several times when people were needing to be talked to, and Ikinu
Yes.
served kind of as the calming and the communicative place. So now people really think of him this way, and the way he talks and moves reflects their opinion of him.
So I'm basically a hand of the queen.
Yeah, not the ways, or the chieftain, perhaps. And
you know what? As a friend, I wouldn't risk saying that loud.
No, I don't think so. Skava keeps saying, well, I can always go off to the woods and hunt rabbits and nobody will care, right?
I'd rather.
I know.
But do I also get a new skill, or are we going to use charisma as the...
Oh, no, it is charisma. It's the charisma. Okay. Is the way we do it. I just keep falling back on old habits. And assuming that skill is there, and then it's not, and then I remember. It's like I'm arguing with myself in my head, and one of us is wrong. I just keep forgetting it.
Okay. So, all of us.
Yeah. Okay, so my next statement is to do again. We will go to this conversation with Zhong and with Zort. Let's get an idea of what people are doing. Urko and Jala, are you going to be spending some time in the temple? Is that where you plan to be? I'm trying to just put everybody in their right spot.
Yeah, let's do that. Just pray or to the gods and.
Well, there's no problem with that in many ways. I want you to make your chaos lore roll and see how it goes.
$69, and I've got 70.
Excellent. Fantastic. That has been improving a lot in the last few sessions, as well as this recent boost. So this is something you never would have been able to understand before. And the reason I say this is because you are able to understand more about how actually to use this skull staff object. It's starting to make sense to you that you could use it to store some spells. You could put spells there, and that certain spells would be stronger if they are cast from it, and that there is there are some uses to this thing that are making more sense to you now that you understand the philosophy behind it. Jala
Makes me happy.
No, Jala says stop playing with that.
Okay. I'll listen to her.
Don't touch that.
Sorry, Jala.
So that is the events for you. The wolf creature's paw is also now a repository of magic. You could actually use it, or better, you could focus your attention on it, and perhaps you too could have chaos wash through you and alter you in some random way.
Tempting.
No.
I would like to consult Jalla about it first. What she thinks about it, because I think highly of her, and
Well,
she is not as impulsive as
right. Well, what
as-
she is saying is that these are now secrets inside inside the mind of the god of the buried dead, and that if anybody is going to make these secrets appear and be obvious outside of the temple, that's going to be her, when she grants them to somebody on temple, business, on through some goal that they have decided is worth losing a secret for. Which is one reason why you keep bringing secrets, because you sort of want your bank to be nice and high.
Yeah.
In case you want to use one, you can say, well, come on, you have 10 more. I brought them. No, give me one.
Okay. So
but of course, her position is slightly compromised. We have never really asked about the nature of the relationship between Urko and Jala, but some kinds of, regardless of the details, it seems to me as though you have a slight conflict of interest in terms of her as your priestess and your authority. There is a sort of slight confusion about the boundaries. That might be the case, just because you are, at the very least, because you have been close for so long. And so let's just say that her judgment about whether to let you use magic from the temple may not be the best judgment all the time. She might not be very objective about that.
That's true. Okay. So, well, just a quick, I was thinking about me and Jalla, we're childhood friends, and I went off doing all this stupid stuff, and sometimes she held me back so I wouldn't get killed, and she got me out of bad situations.
Right.
And, well, stuff like that, yes, in general, but... That's a tough one. Yeah.
So the point is that now your temple is filling up with juicy treasures, and that some of them may be available. They are, of course, a little bit dangerous. This is the kind of magic that would be considered uncontrollable and dangerous. It's kind of like the purest or the most uncontrollable form of magic, of reality.
Okay.
The one last thing I forgot to mention, and I might have messed it up before, when Zhong talks about chaos. In fact, we'll just go over to. We can be dramatic. Jala is talking about this with you, and she is saying, but for us, we call it chaos, and we call it, we treat it with respect and fear, and we even try in some of our cults to chain it, right, to keep it completely controlled. And yet they don't seem to call it that, as far as I can tell, studying, the terms that you are talking about. Their word for chaos is very similar, or is the same word as time. So in many ways, these are not just the storm people, they are the people of time. They worship the passage of time and all the changes that it must bring.
That's interesting.